Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. My name's Ethan Bernard, and in today's video, we're going to be going through the ability set of every single agent in VALORANT. That's right, folks, in the big info drop we got yesterday, we learned the name of the entire roster, and we learned the name of every single one of their abilities. Now, before we hop into this major list, there is one thing to note. Each character has 4 different abilities. They're split into 3 different categories. One of them is a signature ability, which is their first ability that they get free every single round. 2 of the abilities are basic abilities that they have to buy using the same currency pool that you spend on weapons. And one of them is an ultimate ability that has to be charged over time based on your performance in the match. Now, that being said, before we hop into the actual ability set of all these agents, if you guys enjoy what you see, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, people. I'm planning on covering VALORANT on a full-time basis through YouTube, Twitch, and other avenues, and I am really excited to be on this journey. Alright, with that out of the way, let's hop into the very first character here, which is none other than Jett. Jett, that's right, the notorious knife lady from the original reveal trailer, with her jumps and her knives and all of her fancy evasive moves, is back. Her description reads that Jett's agile and evasive fighting style lets her take risks that no other agents can. She runs circles around every skirmish, cutting enemies up before they even know what hit them. Jett's signature ability is known as Tailwind. This is an immediate dash that dashes a short distance in the direction you're moving. This means you can go forwards, backwards, left, or right with this while holding down either WASD. We don't think this works in a vertical manner, but if you're already in the air, you'll probably be able to activate it in one of those 4 directions still. This is going to be really useful for getting around corners quickly if you go out and peek and then you need to get back around the corner to avoid being shot, or just taking an enemy by surprise. This ability will no doubt see a lot of use in competitive play. Jett's second ability is Cloud Burst. She throws out a cloud of fog that obscures visions on impact, and you can actually hold down the ability button to bend the cloud's in-flight trajectory. This is an argument I had with one of my subscribers back in October. I didn't think you would actually be able to alter the trajectory of it, but I was wrong, and as it turns out, by holding down the ability button, you can actually change the direction of where it's going to land in midair, so if you need to make any last-minute decisions, that option is there for you. Jett's third ability is called Updraft. It's basically a jump. After a brief wind-up, you propel yourself upwards. From what it looks like in the gameplay, this also hovers you for like a brief second. This can be used to get up on places other players can't typically get on, and this will no doubt be used to hold some really weird off angles or just avoid being in a sticky situation if there's something on the ground that you need to get away from. Jett's ultimate ability is called Blade Storm. She arms herself with several deadly throwing knives that deal moderate damage but kill immediately upon a headshot. Scoring a kill with these knives restores all of your daggers. So if you left click, it throws a single dagger, and right click will throw all of your remaining daggers in a short ranged burst. So essentially, if you play your cards right and you pop this ability at the beginning of a round, you could kill everyone just by getting a kill, refilling your knives, and continuing to do that over and over and over. I'm curious to see how the right click throwing all the daggers out will work, but we'll have to wait until beta to see what that's like. The next character up on the list today is Cypher. Cypher is the hat guy from the trailer, folks. We had absolutely no idea what this guy did before yesterday, but it turns out that he is some sort of trapping genius. His description says that he's a one-man surveillance network who keeps tabs on the enemy's every move. No secret is safe, no maneuver goes unseen, and Cypher is always watching. Cypher's signature ability is called Spycam. You place a remote camera, and after placing it, you have the ability to reactivate the ability to view the video feed. While you're in the feed, you left click to fire a tracking dart that recharges either when it's picked up or killed. This seems really interesting to me, kind of similar to how the drones work in Rainbow Six Siege. I never considered a mechanic like this for a game like VALORANT, but I'm actually curious to see how it's going to pan out. Now, Cypher, unlike every other character that I know of, actually has a free ability as his second ability, and that ability is called Trapwire. He places a stealth trapwire between 2 walls, and triggering enemies are restrained and revealed for a short amount of time. If the trap is not destroyed, it activates to daze the trapped victim, and it can be picked up. Cypher's third ability is called Cyber Cage. He tosses out a remote activation trap. He can also reactivate this ability to create a cage that slows enemies who pass through it. You can look at a trap and press the use button to detonate it, or hold activate to detonate all of them. Cypher's ultimate ability is called Nueral Theft. It allows him to extract the information from the corpse of an enemy, revealing the location of all of the enemy's living allies. Essentially, this works like Kavira works in Rainbow Six Siege. You guys know that game has a character that allows them to interrogate downed enemies to reveal the location of all of their allies. I think that is a super interesting dynamic in a game like Valorant, especially because there's a few abilities on this list today that actually reveal the locations of enemies, and we don't have anything like that in CSGO. Our next character is none other than Viper. Viper's description says that she deploys an array of poisonous chemical devices to control the battlefield and cripple the enemy's visions. If the toxins don't kill her prey, her mind games surely will. Viper's the toxic chick from the trailer, folks. Definitely a fan favorite alongside Jett, and let me tell you, this ability set is pretty spicy. Viper's signature ability is called Toxic Screen. She deploys a long line of gas emitters that she can reactivate to create a wall of toxic gas at the cost of fuel. Now, it's interesting here because two of Viper's abilities actually use fuel. Fuel recharges over time based off what we've seen in the gameplay, so I think once you have these abilities purchased, you might be able to just keep on using them during the round as long as you wait long enough in between deployments. Viper's second ability is called Poison Cloud. She throws a gas emitter that she can reactivate to create a poisonous smoke cloud at the cost of fuel. The emitter can also be picked up and thrown again after a short cooldown. Viper's third ability is called Snake Bite. She fires a projectile that explodes into a pool of damaging acid. I don't remember really seeing this much in the trailer, but it looks like it's just going to be kind of an extension of all the other poison stuff she has. Might be an interesting zoning tool, much similar to something like a Molotov. Viper's ultimate ability is called Viper's Pit. Viper emits a massive toxic cloud in a large area that lasts as long as Viper stays inside the cloud. Enemies inside the cloud are also highlighted to Viper. So essentially, when enemies enter this thing, they're constantly taking damage, their sight is kind of affected, and they're also highlighted to Viper. So if you pop this on an objective, and you've got a good close range weapon equipped as Viper, that is a fantastic way to hold a point. The next character we're covering today is named Phoenix. Phoenix's description says that his star powers shine through in his fighting style, igniting the battlefield with flash and flare. Whether he's got backup or not, he's rushing into the fight on his own terms. Phoenix's signature ability is called Curveball. He casts a curving flare that bursts into brilliant light after a brief delay, temporarily blinding all looking at it. Left click curves the ability left, and right click curves the ability right. So essentially, it's a flashbang that you can curve in midair. So instead of throwing shit over the map, you'll just be able to throw the thing right around the damn corner. Which is honestly fine. That just kind of seems normal to me, but I'm excited to see how it works nonetheless. Phoenix's second ability is called Hot Hands. He throws a fireball that explodes after a delay or upon impact with the ground. The zone of fire damages enemies but heals you simultaneously. So think about this as a Molotov, where basically when he throws it, anyone who stands in it gets burned, but if he walks in it, he actually gets healed. I think this is a really interesting self-healing dynamic, and I think you might actually see it used just as much for self-healing as you see it used for zoning. Phoenix's third ability is called Blaze. He casts out a flame wall that blocks visions and damages anyone passing through it. You can bend the wall while casting by turning while holding left click. This is interesting to me, so you can kind of curve the wall, bend it around, and make it into a specific shape, whether you're trying to create a wall of cover or block a sight line or something like that, and anyone who walks through it will take some passing damage, which is always nice. Phoenix's ultimate ability is called Run It Back. It marks your current location, and if you die during this ability's duration or when the ability duration expires, you'll be reborn at the marked location with full health. For those of you who play Apex Legends, this seems very similar to one of Revenant's abilities. The newest character in Apex can place down a totem as his ultimate. It gives him immortality, and if he dies during that period, instead of just dying, he'll respawn at that totem. So like this, if you die during the duration of the ability, or when the ability's duration just expires, you'll be reborn at the marked location with full health. This ability to me seems absolutely fantastic. It basically allows you to play dumb without consequence because you get like a free second try. The next agent I've got here for you today is Omen. Omen is a mysterious figure that we don't know a whole lot about, but we do know his abilities, so bear with me. His description says that Omen hunts in the shadows. He renders enemies blind, teleports across the field, and lets paranoia take hold of foes as they scramble to uncover where he might strike next. So, essentially, scary cloaked guy that we don't know a whole lot about. And I'm pretty sure that this is also going to be the locked character when the game launches. Omen's signature ability is called Dark Cover. He casts out a stealth, ethereal orb that bursts into an obscuring sphere of shadow at its final location. Have fun saying that 10 times fast. It can also be charged to increase the distance of the ability. This is kind of weird to me. Not sure how that'll play out, but I'm sure we'll find out soon. Omen's second ability is called Paranoia. He sends out an ethereal shadow in a straight line, nearsighting anyone that touches it. So this is kind of another vision inhibiting ability, which could also be nice because we haven't seen a whole lot of those so far, other than abilities that block lanes. Omen's third ability is called Shadow Walk. After a delay, he dematerializes and teleports a short distance. I'm not sure what to think of this. This reminds me of like Phase Shift in Titanfall 2. That's probably a reference not many people will understand. Something like Wraith's signature ability in Apex Legends, where you just kind of dematerialize, teleport a little distance, and then come back. I think it'll be useful for maybe getting across a lane without being shot, something like that. Doesn't seem like it'll be useful in every scenario, and it'll definitely end up being one of the more situational abilities. Omen's ultimate ability is From the Shadows. He can select anywhere on the map and teleport and reform there. While he's arriving, he appears as a shade, and that will go back to your original location if you're killed. Once the teleport is complete, you become incorporeal for a short time. Now, for those of you who needed to look up the definition of that word like I did, it's an adjective that means not composed of matter and having no material existence. So literally, you become nothing for a short amount of time is an easier way to say that. Next up on our list of agents is Sage. Sage is the healer. She's the person with the revive, the person with the wall, the person with the orbs around her waist. All these things that we speculated about for months are finally here, and now we know what all those little orbs can do. Sage's description says that she creates safety for herself and her team wherever she goes. She's able to revive fallen friends and stave off forceful assaults as she provides a calm center to a hellish battlefield. Sage's signature ability is her Healing Orb. It literally is just an orb that heals either an ally or yourself to full health over a few seconds. This is going to be useful. Say an ally gets tagged at the beginning of the round, heal them right up, easy peasy. I think you'll see this used pretty much every single round when a Sage is on your team. Sage's second ability is the Slow Orb. She casts out a Radiantite orb that breaks into a slowing field upon impact with the ground. Anyone caught in the field is slowed and grounded, and they make noise when they're moving. So they can't jump up, they're slow, and they make a ton of noise, so it's going to be easy to tell if someone tries to go over that area. Sage's third ability is called Barrier Orb. She conjures a large solid wall, and you can right-click to rotate the wall before casting. This is literally just the big-ass wall we saw in the original trailer. I believe you can shoot through it. I believe that you can actually stand on top of it as well, and you can also use it to block a sight line. Say if your team's pushing in, you want to protect your back. Instead of having someone sit back and look behind you, you can just put up a wall behind you and go on your merry way. Sage's ultimate ability, yep, you guessed it, it's the Resurrection. You can target a friendly corpse and after a short delay, revive them with full health. Not sure what range this is at, whether it's a line of sight thing or whatever. Either way, this seems extremely overpowered in a game like this, but we'll just have to wait until beta to see how it actually plays. Next up on our list of agents is Sova. Sova is a tracker, okay? Their description says that he tracks, finds, and eliminates enemies with ruthless efficiency and precision. His custom bow and incredible scouting abilities ensure that even if you run, you cannot hide. Sova's signature ability is his Recon bolt. He fires a bolt that displays a sonar emitter, and the sonar pings and tags nearby enemies, causing their exact location to be revealed. Now, that being said, it sounds kind of crazy, but the Recon bolt can be destroyed. So if you shoot it right out in the open and enemies know what's up, they're going to destroy it before it even reveals their location. Sova's second ability is his shock bolt. He fires an explosive bolt that emits a damaging pulse of static energy upon impact. I'm not sure if this will be an AoE, but either way, it's an electric arrow, people, so I'm sure this ability will be fun, and someone will be able to figure out how the hell we're supposed to use it. Sova's third ability is his owl drone. He deploys a pilotable drone that can fire a dart that will reveal enemies who are hit by it. I'm not sure how useful this will be. We'll have to see how long the drones last, how fast the dart moves, etc, etc. But this could be fun to troll people with down the line, I'm sure. Sova's ultimate ability is Hunter's Fury. Sova can fire up to 3 deadly energy blasts that spear across the entire map, and each hit enemy takes heavy damage and is marked. So you can literally shoot this through the entire map. If it hits anybody, they take a bunch of damage, and if it doesn't kill them, they also get marked. This seems amazing. If people know exactly what angles people are going to be holding, this I'm sure will be used to trigger a whole lot of people after we get our hands on the game. And last but not least on our list of agents, we have Brimstone. Brimstone's description says that his orbital arsenal ensures his squad always has the advantage. His ability to deliver utility precisely and safely makes him the unmatched boots-on-the-ground commander. Brimstone's signature ability is Sky Smoke. You use your map to call in an orbital deployment smoke screen that obscures vision. You click to set the location and confirm once again to launch. Brimstone's second ability is called Incendiary. He launches an incendiary grenade that deploys a damaging field of fire. So basically, it sounds a whole lot like Phoenix's Fireball, just without the self-healing part of it, which is fine, because the more zoning the better, right? Brimstone's third ability is called Stim Beacon. He targets a nearby location to call in a Stim Beacon that gives all players near it rapid fire. So basically, he calls this in, and anyone standing near it does more damage, or does damage faster, I should say. It increases their DPS, if you will. And finally, Brimstone's ultimate ability, which is Orbital Strike. Use your map to target a location, launching a devastating orbital strike that pulses for high damage over several seconds. So if you know where enemies are going to be at, or if you need to zone people or anything like that, ping it on the map, call in an orbital strike, and you can ensure that anyone that's going to be there for the next few seconds is going to be taking some hefty damage. Anyway guys, that was the entire list of agents and abilities in Valorant, at least the ones we're getting at launch anyway. I'm going to have several series on how to combine these abilities together once I can get my hands on the game. We'll have in-depth guides on how to use each character most effectively, and we'll get the job done. So if you guys enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like, leave a comment down below, subscribe to the channel, all that fun stuff. It's free and it helps me out a lot. Let me know what kind of Valorant videos you guys want to see. I'll be covering this game full time, so if there's a video you want me to make, I'll most likely just be able to flat out make it. I'm really excited to get my hands on this game. I can't even tell you guys how much hype I've had for all this new info, and I've still got several videos planned that you should see out within the next couple weeks. Anyway guys, that's it from me. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
Hey naysayers, how y'all been? It's been a minute, but I'm in it to win, and I ain't finished. This is the starting gun, and I'ma run it to the front until I'm #1, son. This is a rhythmic defibrillation, innovative old school to thrill the nation. I've been patiently waiting and building steam, but I'm back with the bounce like a trampoline. Oh please, I feel it bubbling up. It's 10 times